Hey everybody, welcome back. So today I'm just going to get ready and go over, I guess, anything new that's been going on. Just first off, I actually have not been outside of the house really to really shop or anything, other than just going to his doctor's appointments for the past I would say at least 2 months. And I actually went out, I think it was a week and a half or something ago, and went to Sam's Club and Walmart and the drugstore and stuff, and got some things. And it was really weird. I felt like I was driving a whole lot slower than everyone else on the road. I was so much more cautious because I felt like I had not drove. I mean, really, I haven't drove myself anywhere in probably at least 3 months. Because even whenever all of this started, my husband was driving us to our appointments. So it was really weird being out. But also, here's the thing. See how much concealer I have? We've been using the same mask because really none of us were outside at the same time. It was always either him or me, and mostly him. So we've just been using the same mask that we had left over from demoing a wall in our garage. And so we've been wearing it for a while. And whenever I put it on the other day, I don't know if it was just the accumulated, gunk of reusing it, or if it was the material, but it gave me such a bad rash. And the rash was all right here. This one is still kind of lingering, but it had it over here too. And it was really bad. Halfway through Walmart, I started itching, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then by the time that I got home and I took a look in the mirror, I was like, oh my God, because it was all right here. And then whenever I had to wear it again to go out the next day, I ended up developing here, I guess where the bands or whatever were. I got a rash here, and then over here I got one from the bands going up here. So it was a mess. I really did not love that. And then yesterday, actually, we dropped Xavier off with his cousins, and they watched him for an hour while we both went to Costco so that we could check out the new stuff. And since we were both going out and we only had the one mask, I just put together a cloth one for me real quick. And it actually was so much better than the other one because it didn't have that really bad material. But the only thing is, I made it out of a burp cloth that had terry cloth on both sides, but then it kind of has I think almost foam or spongy type of material, really thin, but still you can feel it in between. And while that probably is a pretty good filter, it was kind of hot. So I feel I need one that's more just just straight up cotton without any extra heavy materials to it. But regardless, we went to Costco. That worked out pretty good. I think I let this dry a little bit too long. I'm really gonna have to buff it out now. I forgot to say that I was using my Flower Light Illusion Concealer. Most of this stuff is gonna be just my everyday stuff. Anyway, I've also been dealing with really bad allergies pretty much every morning. Whenever I wake up, my allergies are popping off. So this morning, pretty bad. I took 2 Benadryl, so that's the equivalent of a Unisom. So hopefully I don't fall asleep during this, but I'm trying to keep my energy up a little bit because we do have a long list of things to tackle today. But I do want to kick off by saying, aside from my skin being a wreck right now from the mask, also, I don't know if you can tell, I had this little bump right here. Here's the thing. I had felt it coming up for a few months, it was a tiny little bump. And I kind of thought maybe it was an ingrown lash hair or something like that. But it never came to anything. It was always just there, a little bump underneath. And then lo and behold, 2 days ago, it was just suddenly like right there. And I looked at it and there was like a whitehead on it and stuff. And it was very like not great looking. So, I mean, don't do this at home, kids, but I ended up taking a needle, like sanitized, and just like kind of punctured it a little bit very gently so that I could just like release whatever was in there. Wasn't really a whole lot going on. We'll just forget that part, but it has helped it go down a little bit. So hopefully it just goes all the way away, because that was very weird. I also feel like this is the issue with the Get Ready With Me. I just spent forever doing my under eye concealer whenever normally that would take me like a minute. Okay, so next I'm going in with my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, as always. So moving on though. Okay, I just went ahead and put that powder all over just so that I could keep things moving and not talk forever. But going in with my Tarte Double Duty Beauty Confidence Creamy Powder Foundation. This is discontinued, so I'm just using it up per the usual. Getting down in there. Sucks to have to use it up, but you know what? I gotta do it. I have a tendency to hoard things like this and just be like, I just won't finish it. And then that way I can just keep it forever, but that's crazy talk. I really gotta stop doing that. So, I'm just gonna go in with this. Just checking out the neighbors. We're going to be doing a podcast, I think. Well, I don't think we are going to be doing it. I don't want to make like a big thing of it. I do like want to talk about it. Just because I'm excited. But, I mean, you know, we're just doing it because we like to do things like this and like branch out and try new things. At the time that I'm recording this right now, it's not up yet. So when it is, I'll leave a link in the descriptions going forward for it. Bare Minerals Invisible Bronze, of course. I feel like I'm starting to make some progress in here. I feel like I'm seeing it. So, you know, that's what we're doing with that. I feel like we're doing a lot, you know, but it's like we have this time to just kind of like explore things and do what we want to do and just kind of like try new things. And I feel like might as well, right? So that's what we're doing with that. But moving on to what shows I've been watching. Let me see. I have a list here because I figured I was going to forget some. And I think that I thought of another one yesterday and I ended up forgetting it before I could write it down. But let me see here. So I finished, where's my thing? I finished The Goldbergs all the way up to the most like current season finale for I think like season 7. I really liked it. I feel like probably the next season I think is going to be the last one maybe. And that sucks. But it was good. I really enjoyed it. My neighbor's outside planting stuff, not you. So finished that one. And then I also watched season 2 of Dead to... Well, I thought I wasn't recording at first. Season 2 of Dead to Me on Netflix. I'll try not to like spoil it in case you haven't seen it or whatever, but I feel like season 1 was okay. It took me a little while to get into it. Season 2 though, really, like it took me a while to get on board with it. Like a while. Because I was just like, I felt a little bit like it jumped the shark, like basically from the beginning of this season. And pretty much by like, I think maybe episode like 7 or whatever, I was getting into it. And I ended on a high note with it, but I still think it was a very like weird second season. And I'm not really sure, like if they have a next season and it turns out starting out the same way, like weird and off, I'm just going to abandon it. Which is a shame. It was a good premise for a show, but I don't know that they're like doing everything that they could with it. And I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing, which y'all know is dangerous because that's how I end up with clown makeup. But honestly, it's not like I'm going anywhere today and my skin looks not great from all those breakouts or the rashes or whatever from the mask. I feel like a troll, honestly. So there's that. For blush, I'm going to go in with my Lorac Color Source and Light Source palette. I always pretty much like mix these two, and then on occasion I'll use these two. I don't really use the highlights much, but I love the blushes. So, dead to me. After that, or during that, I was watching Good Girls. Now here's the thing. I cannot remember if I talked to you guys about Good Girls before or not. So basically though, my friend recommended it. You know, it's actually these two that I usually mix. These two. I think I might have said these two before. It's these two that I mix. My friend from back home recommended it, and I really liked the first season that I watched. Second season got a little like, I don't know how much I'm liking this. It started getting a little bit repetitive, you know? And then, I can't remember. I think that it's either the third or fourth season currently, but whatever is the current season that just finished is the one that I just finished watching. And again, kind of the whole season, I was like, how many times can we go through like the same, like, you know, situation basically? Like, just stop doing business with the guy. Jeez. But she doesn't, and they keep continuing to get the same situation happening, and it's just really getting old. So I'm kind of like falling out of favor with it a little bit. My blush looks really subtle, but I feel like if I do more, it's going to turn out really crazy. We'll just see. So Good Girls. And then, I watched Single Parents, and I watched this on Hulu. I don't know if it's an NBC or an ABC show. I'm not sure. But turns out there's only 2 seasons of it, and it got canceled after the second season. So that really sucked, because I actually like looked into that after I had already started watching it. Because it's another one of those where I saw it and I was like, I'm not going to be into that. So then I just like wrote it off. And then of course, whenever I get desperate and I actually start to watch it, I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. I do want to just like interrupt myself here and say this. After my last like organizing my vanity with me video, I did end up depotting the large Jaclyn Hill palette and the large Emily palette. And I put them all into, well, here's the thing. I only kept what shadows I thought I would actually use. And if there were like duplicates in each one, then I would only keep like one of those. So I ended up putting all of the shadows that I kept into here. Now, of course, I think these 3 shadows right here are not from those palettes. These are just like from other palettes. But all of the Emily and Jaclyn colors that I kept are right here. So I have them all in kind of like a little neutrals palette, and I have been using it a lot more. So now having said that, what am I going to use today? Because, you know, my go-to has been the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air, but I've used that already in a Get Ready With Me, so I feel like I should use something different. Lots of people out walking today. What am I going to use? I also did not label these, so I have no idea which shadows I actually kept, but I really don't care. I mean, they're all neutrals. Ooh, I have this sitting on a very precarious stand. I'm not sure what I want to use. I think, ooh, actually, yes. We're going to use the Friendcation palette. That's what we're going to use. Now, here's the thing. I was talking to you about something a second ago, and I actually don't remember what it was now. Single Parents. That's probably what it was. So I told myself, like, I don't like that. And then I watched it, and I'm like, okay, it's actually pretty good. And I actually really like that Leighton Meester was one of the leads in it. Because she's one of those people where I'm like, oh, I'm glad that she got a job, you know, like I'm glad to see her working. So that was nice. But of course, then the fact that it's canceled after 2 seasons, well, that sucks. But I will say that without giving it away in case you do want to watch it, the second season ended in a way where you kind of were like, okay, yeah, this is gonna end happily, we'll say. So I do feel like they at least kind of did plan for the contingency that maybe they would get canceled after that season. So I do like that they kind of wrapped it up a little bit, although I think it was good enough. Like, I think that they could have continued it, as I really liked it. We did watch, the both of us, his pick, not mine, we watched Car Masters Gotham Garage on Netflix, and it's kind of like Counting Cars, or like Fast and Loud, and those type of ones. So, you know, it's one of those that like I really didn't like it. Whenever he'd be like, oh, let's watch this, I'd be like, yeah, I really don't want to, but okay. But once it would actually start, I could get into it. But it's definitely not a show where I'd be like, ooh, I'm dying to watch that. But most of those shows aren't like that, honestly, for me. But my husband likes them, so we watch them, and I can usually get into them. I do feel like this one was a little bit slower paced than others, and it also had like a weird premise of like trading up rather than just like making the cars to sell or whatnot. So, by the way, I forgot to add, always set my primer with this in the crease, this in the outer third of it or so, this on the lid. That's like my go-to like everyday kind of makeup with this palette. So we watched that one, and then we also watched on Netflix The Lovebirds, which was a movie. Three teenage boys in a convertible just drove by and honked at my neighbor, who is a middle-aged woman, but she's also wearing like quite short shorts. She looks great though. But they honked at her as she was like standing by her flagpole. So I wonder what that was about. I wonder if they were like, hey, that's a MILF right there. But anyway, we watched The Lovebirds on Netflix, and that was actually pretty good. Like, I was skeptical, but it turned out good. If you don't really like think too hard about it, you just sit back and enjoy it, you can enjoy it. We also started watching Hollywood on Netflix, which is a Ryan Murphy production, but I don't really know how much I like it. It's a little bit dull right now, honestly. Like, I don't think we've watched it in like a week or so. You know, I don't love it. I don't know if we're going to finish it even. And then I started watching Community, which, keeping with the theme, is yet another show that I said I was never going to watch because that looks dumb. And then here I am watching it. I will say, though, that while I loved the first, like, couple seasons, I feel like season 3 started a little, like, weird, and then season 4 was really bad. Season 5 got a little bit better, was kind of, like, weird, though, and then cast started dropping off, and I'm on season 6 now. I'm almost done with it. I think I'm, like, almost maybe 2 or 3 episodes out from, like, just the end of it. I'm kind of checked out, you know, like I think apparently they had a lot of drama on the set, and I think that kind of stuff like kind of got to it, you know, and messed it up. So it's a shame. I really think it's good though to watch like maybe the first 2 seasons. I don't know if I would tell you though to watch all of it. So yeah, that's that. We did also do some rearranging of furniture. So I think I'm going to vlog and just show you guys that kind of stuff. So I just went ahead and finished the outer corner of those because I was blanking on what I was gonna say, and I was like, well, just let me concentrate on this and just do that part. So I did. But there's a lot of people out today, man. I think that people are getting a little restless. And I think that's why so many people are out nowadays too. Everyone's just kind of over it, you know, like they just want to be back outside. I gotta say, whenever I went to Walmart the other day and I was able to just like look around, I took my time. I wasn't like in a hurry. It was so nice to just like be at the store again. I also bought a few tops. And what else? I thought I bought some other stuff. Maybe it was stuff that I bought for him. But maybe I'll show that in the vlog because I feel like the tops that I got were kind of cute for summer, you know, just like cheap summery tops. Now I gotta do this shade. So, you know, that was nice. So here's the freaking weird thing though. I was like, oh, let me get some like slides to wear around the house or something. You know, just like some cheap Walmart sandals, like no big deal. I'll just wear them around the house because usually like I take off like my outside shoes, but I have like inside shoes because I hate to walk around barefoot. So I like to have inside shoes, but I also like for them, I put this on the wrong finger now. I also like for them to have a little bit of support because my arches start to hurt if I don't have some support. So I was like, let me get some of those. Dude, I went to the shoe section in just like the cheap like hanging shoe section. There was only in every single style of shoe, only size 11, 12 left in the women's stuff. So apparently everybody had the same idea. They're like, oh, I'm going to be home a lot. Let me get some like house shoes because all of the house shoes were sold out in my size and every other size except for the larger feet. So that sucked. We have been trying to cook at home a lot more. So I've been trying out some recipes and stuff. I think that we'll actually end up like for the recipes that we either try and like or I think we also want to try some like celebrity recipes and stuff. I think we're gonna put those on Millennial Living whenever we have a recipe that we like. But you know, I'll probably also do some vlogs where you'll just like see me cooking too, because I'd like to do that more, not because like vlogs are like easy videos. Honestly, I find them a little bit harder to do because like, you know, you're not just doing one continuous like session of filming. It's like picking up the phone throughout the day to film. So it's lots of different clips that have to be edited together. And then, you know, like sometimes you got to have like sped up parts and music and all that stuff. So it is a little bit more like time consuming than just like a video where I sit down and talk about something. But I want to be able to have these to look back on whenever he's older. You know, I can be like, oh, this is what it was like whenever you were younger. You know, so I've been trying to do a lot more like home movie type stuff because oftentimes I'm like, I want to be in the moment, like so that I remember the moment. But then also I got to balance that and be like, I should actually pick up the phone sometimes and record because otherwise he's not going to have any like videos of him whenever he's young because I'm too caught up in like trying to enjoy the moment that then there's no actual like, here's like a video memory of it. So I do want to vlog more and like try to do stuff like that so that we have it to look back on. But did I put on blush earlier? Yes, it looks like I did. Setting spray and then mascara, I believe. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Well, that's probably not where that started out, but I have it like sitting, it's like a tower of like mismatched items that this tripod is sitting on right now on my desk. And it just fell over. So it's a good thing that we're coming to the end of this video. I thought that I had some more things to say, but honestly, I wrote the notes down just like very like quick. And I know I'm forgetting some things, but like I said, I'm going to vlog also. So anything that I forget to say here, I'll make sure that I talk about there. But I'm just gonna let this dry real quick. I am gonna put on mascara. Did I talk about my inner corner highlight I used was the Becca Vanilla Quartz. It looks like this. I've kind of dug out a little hole there where I always do my inner corner highlight. My regular highlight is, of course, the Hourglass Ambient Strobe in Incandescent. It is getting quite low. I do want to know, you guys, whenever it gets this low, do you just buy a new one or do you try to use it? Because here's the issue. Like, I really like to have this whole like side of it like coated, and then I just kind of go like this, like all over, just that way it's like very like diffused. But it's hard to do that whenever like the product is only in the corners. So part of me is like, just buy a new one. And the other part of me is like, no, you should really like finish this up. What would you guys do? Like what's your like normal course of action? Would you just purchase a new one? Or would you use this until it is completely gone? That's what I want to know. I want to know the answer to that. My brows were the Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt. What else did I use? I used the Friendcation palette. The blush was the Lorac. My eye primer was the Ulta Nude Matte, as always. My setting spray was the Wet n Wild Coconut, and my mascara is going to be the Tarte Big Ego. The more this dries out, like I'm almost at the end of being able to use this, I feel like the better it gets. All right, so there we have it. Wow, I don't even really remember doing my brows. That Benadryl is messing with me. I'm like, okay, I feel it. I think I did it, but I don't really remember doing it. But also I was talking a lot too, so regardless, everything is done. I'm gonna try to stay awake the rest of the day, hopefully. I'll link everything I use down below, everything that's still available at least. And for lips, I am more than likely going to use the Milani Ludicrous Lip Gloss in She's All That. This is a lot of what I wear lately, so I'm probably going to use that one. So I will, you know, link everything down below. I'll put that on later because right now I got to go feed him, so I'm not going to put it on right now. But yeah. That is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that you all are staying safe and doing well out there. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.